Hey everybody, thank you so much for stopping by my channel and welcome to my backyard. I'm excited today because today we are doing a project that we don't normally do, and it's gonna be new for us. We are building, or really my husband is building, a firewood rack or shed to hold our firewood. You guys said that you wanted to see this video, and so we are going to capture the build process and of course show you the final product. So if you're brand new here, thank you for stopping by. My name is Barbara. We live in Tennessee in Zone 7B. And I'm so glad that you're here. And if you're new, just let me know that you're new for the first time and let me know what state you are coming in from or what country. And if you've been here before, thank you for continuing to support us in our channel. So on this channel, we talk about all things gardening, homesteading, cooking from scratch, preparation and things like that. So there's several playlists for whatever you're looking for. Hopefully we have something that will meet you wherever you are. But I want this to be a safe space where we can really, I'm just taking you through my gardening journey. And so part of this journey is sometimes you have to kind of build things for the homestead. So that's what we're doing today. You can kind of see behind me there, we have 2 log racks with firewood. And then I have another one that's kind of behind me on our patio. So these 2 that you see here are 2 4-foot racks that are right there that's full of firewood, and then we have an 8-foot rack. And although it sounds 4 feet and 8 feet like big, they don't hold a ton of wood. I think one of these holds maybe a rick. And so we have a whole cord of wood left in our driveway. So we got our firewood locally bought and delivered, and we got it dropped off maybe about 4 or 5 weeks ago. So we did it early, which normally we don't. We had it delivered, and so that's when my husband kind of, rearranged and set up the new rack and all that. But we still have a lot of wood left. So we had the thing of, okay, we're gonna have to buy another 8-foot rack, but we were gonna need like 3 8-foot racks, I think, to hold all the wood that's currently in my driveway. And so I asked my husband, I said, what about building something? And we haven't done a lot, and I say I ain't done no building, but he hasn't done a lot of building. But he was like, I don't know. And so I went on Pinterest to look at some designs, and I found this design, and I showed it to him that I liked it. He was like, oh, I like that. And it said that you could build it, in a weekend. Like, it was simple and came with a plan. So we actually bought the plan. I found the design on Pinterest, but it was linked to an Etsy shop, and we bought the plan. I think the plan was like $12. It came with specific directions. It had pictures, and it also had a supply list, and it said, hey, it should cost you around this much. Now, I think the plan, if I remember correctly, was like maybe 2 or 3 years old. Like on Etsy, it had been there for a while. So I thought, okay, with the price of inflation, the cost may be a bit higher. But when my husband bought all the supplies, it was right at $400, which is what they said. So around $400 or so. We'll see by the end if we've had to buy more stuff. But at the outset, about $400 worth of materials, and we're going to attempt to build it ourselves. Okay, so I'm excited to show you this process from beginning to end as we build a firewood rack to hold our firewood. Let's go. So remember, we're going to keep in mind on this video, I am support. So if I ask questions that you're like, girl, you don't know what that is, I don't, because I'm support. So I'm out here to help support him with whatever he needs, make sure he is hydrated, make sure he is fed, and make sure the project is staying as needed. So whatever he needs, that is what I'm here for. So this is where my husband's kind of mapped out where the firewood rack is going to go. So in terms of, it's still in the back of our house. When I say it's a distance, it's not necessarily a distance to walk. I am probably I'm not good at measurements. Maybe, you think this is about 20 feet from the back of the raised beds?
Yeah,
Give or take. So it's not far, but keep in mind, we have the wood rack that's close to the house. Then we have these other 2 as well. So I kind of see this as more of an overflow. Okay, y'all, my husband's doing that. I went into the root cellar and did some grocery shopping. Look at all these onions. These are from my root cellar. These are from the onions that we planted in the spring and we harvested in May. Do you see this whole basket full and how good they look? Now, some of them don't look good. I left those in there. So I have lost some because they are past their storage prime. But I probably have another whole basket full. Another whole basket full. We grew a lot of onions, y'all. And this is the most onions I've ever grown, and that I still have onions this late in the season. It's about to be November, and I still have plenty of onions. So that is definitely a win. Okay, guys, so this is another day. We're back on the wood. I don't know what we're calling this. The wood.
Wood storage.
The wood storage. So, okay, honey. So he's cut all the wood. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, and so what step are you on now?
So we're just basically, because we're building on a slope, none of this out here is flat, and to go back further, we'll put it where the land is designed for the water to run. So we don't want it to sit in the water. So we're building right here, and there's a slope. So for me, I'm taking a little extra time to make sure that we got what is called the footers, or what the wood is going to sit on. The structure is flat and square, and it won't slide, shift, move, or anything. So taking a little extra time to, as they say, measure twice, cut once, and get it right, because we're going to put some concrete down on the front side so that the footers just don't move at all. And we're going to use pavers in the back. And so just taking a little extra time to make sure that's right.
So basically you're getting where the structure is going to sit on, we're getting that level and in place.
Yes.
Okay, so let me get a little closer. So is this what you're calling a footer?
Yes.
Okay, so it's going to be a little square 4 times, right?
6
right there.
Times. Well,
so is this?
We're going to do 3 times. Those are going to just sit in the ground.
Okay, but this is let me back up. So it's going to be these 6 squares right here. It's going to hold the whole thing.
Whole thing. Yeah.
Okay, and so the ones in the front is the ones that you're doing like this?
Yes. Yeah.
Why not the ones in the back?
Well, because they're sitting up higher, so it's easier to dig down in the ground. And
okay.
They'll stay more secure. We're going to put a little what they call paver base under the pavers, but they are sitting down in the ground, so they're way more secure. Here, we're having to dig down and put what they call a base foundation down, and then we're going to put concrete on top.
Okay.
Fill up the square here.
And that'll be in this one, and then all the ones in the front, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Maybe a better way to do it. That's the way I figured out how to do it. And the people that I talk to say, yeah, go ahead and do it that way. So, first project, want to make sure we get it right, so we're not cutting off corners, taking our time, making sure it's right. Because if the foundation is not right, we already know what'll happen to the building. It will fall.
We got from Etsy, was this part in there, or it started with just putting the building up and it assumed that you had a level foundation?
Yeah, it started off with just putting it together. There's nothing, they tell you to make sure that the ground is flat.
Okay.
And so they're assuming that you're going to have a flat surface to put it on, and then they're just giving instructions on how to build the structure. This part, I had to make a few phone calls, talk to a few people, and figure out which way to go.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. As I thought I would get you a shot from this side, because it may be hard to tell in the video that this is actually going downhill. So that's the reason why he's having to do those footers on the front row, and in the back row they just sit down. As you can see, he has his assistants, the dogs. But yeah, this is it's actually going downhill. But y'all, while I was out here, 2 things. So first thing, my husband said something. He said, man, I'm really excited about doing this. And I said, oh, really? He said, yeah. He said, because this is a skill. He said, you're able to do this, and you can just multiply it on a bigger scale. Because this is a skill, I guess, of carpentry and construction all rolled up into one. And if you saw my video that I did, I don't know, by the time this video comes out, it may be a couple of weeks. But I did a video on preparing and preparation. And in that video, one of the things we talked about, I went through the 8 lessons that we can learn from the Great Depression. If you did not see that video, I want you to make a note to go and watch that video, because it is that important. And I don't ever say that. If you missed the video, I might encourage you, but I don't necessarily say definitely go and watch it. But that video is one that I want everybody who hears my voice, to go and watch it. But in that video, one of the lessons that they learned from the Great Depression is they were a jack of all trades. They had certain skills. And so this is one of the ways that you can increase your skills. Now, I need to be out here learning, but I'm support, y'all. I'm support. Your girl is in the house cooking, preserving. I'm doing all the things to make sure this man is well fed, well nourished. But again, not to be funny, we need to learn these skills, because when you are at a place where you can't afford to do it, or hire somebody on your own, or you can't afford maybe all the materials, then you can find a way to do it on your own. So that's one thing. The second thing is, y'all, I don't walk my land a lot. And I haven't been back here on this side in a long, long time. Look at this, y'all. Absolutely beautiful, especially in the fall. But I want to turn the camera around and show you something. So I'm walking the land and I see all of this back here. It's actually flat, or flatter back here. Just to kind of give you a perspective, that's the back of my house. That's where my husband is kind of building the stuff. You can see my raised beds on there. So I'm kind of walking uphill, so to speak. And it's really not even uphill. I'm just kind of walking to the back. And it's flat back here and clear. I never come back here because I don't have a reason to. But it's good to kind of walk your property and see it. And I've never kind of shown this part on video. You can see in the distance is my high tunnel. Okay, guys, so we are nearing the part of the end of the foundation, and then he's gonna be getting ready to start to build. But I want to turn the camera around and show you what the finished product looks like. Remember, I told you that he was filling it with concrete on the front end, and then on the back end he had kind of leveled the pavers in place. So let me just turn the camera around and show you what it looks like. So you can see that all 6 are in place. In the back row, we just have pavers leveled in the ground, but in the front, he filled it with concrete. You can see on the far right is the first one that he did, in the middle, and then you can see by the end, he just became a straight professional. You can see how good that looks. He was telling me that on the middle one, he used a product called Sackcrete, which he didn't like as much. It had a lot of rock in it, but the first one and the last one, he used Quickcrete, which he liked much better. Okay, so now that he has the base pretty much, not the base, the foundation done, the next step is to start building the base. So it's coming in handy now that he had pre-cut all of his pieces of wood. He labeled them so he knows what piece goes where. So he's starting to build the base, and we're gonna start getting this building shed up. Okay, guys, he has made some progress. So he's pretty much gotten the floor pieces laid out and drilling those in. Looks like he only has 2 more pieces left on the right hand side where he is to get this part completed. Is that right?
That's right.
So this is the part he said where the wood will actually start to sit and be stacked. How many inches apart are those slats?
They didn't tell me how many to put, how many inches apart. I spaced them where they were equal. So I got 2.5 inches.
Okay. Y'all, it is coming together. He has the 4-post in on the sides, and then he has the front part done, and now he's doing the one side piece over here. Okay, it's coming together so nicely. And so this part right here, if it looks like it's slanted towards where my husband and son are standing, it is. And so my husband said that this part of the design at the top is slanted so that when he puts the metal roof on, the water
So it's
will
slanted
run
on purpose.
in the direction towards where they're standing versus running forwards and getting the wood wet. So I thought that was pretty interesting how that design is going slanted to the back.
Okay, guys, so one of the next pieces in the project, these pieces of wood you see here and also back there are cedar wood. They're gonna go on the back of the wood shed, and he has stained them with a water protectant so that it will be waterproof. He didn't stain it, it's already naturally red because of the cedar. So that's those are drying, and then now he is getting ready to put on the roof. So let me see if I can get you a better shot. So the roof is metal. He is okay, guys. So the last thing that you saw was me helping my husband put on the first ring on the back on the wood shed. So that was at the end of the evening. The sun was going down. It got dark. So the next day was finishing day. Well, I had to run into town, and I was gone for probably 3 or 4 hours. Well, y'all, when I came back, it was done. It was done. So I did not get the footage of him doing all of the last part because he was like, it's going down today and it's going to be finished. When I came home, it was dark, and my husband had on his headlamp, and he was nailing the last piece of wood in place. I cannot wait to turn this camera around and show you guys what it looks like. It looks so good. So I'm going to turn the camera around. Well, first I'm going to turn the camera to my husband, and then I'm going to let you see his handiwork, and then he can talk about what it took to finish it and just his overall thoughts. So, okay, y'all, this is the final product. Does it not look so good? Okay, honey, tell us what you did when I left.
So by the time my wife left, I think I was working on the roof of it.
No, we were on the back.
We were on the back side. Okay.
And then you were trying to cut the roof.
Yeah, we were trying to cut the roof.
So talk to the roof first.
So we bought some corrugated metal for the roof.
And I don't know if I can get a shot up there.
Yeah, and so it was long ways, but the grooves in the metal was the wrong way, so we had to turn it and cut it in small pieces to go all the way across. And so we did that, and we screwed it on, and we did it in a way that water would not get inside here and get the wood wet. So we did that, and we got that secured. And the only thing left after that was to put these sides on and the back on. And so we started with the back. It was really much easier than I anticipated it ever being. And with the, because at the beginning we cut all the wood, so it was already cut. And so we put it in and then spaced it every 2 inches and went all the way down. And really after that was done, the only thing we had to do was match up the sides with the back and just screw them in. That was all that was left. Now, the difference is you may see that the wood on the inside and on the back is a slightly different color. That's because we used cedar wood, which has a slight red tint to it. It was not treated, so we had to treat it. We had to put some chemicals on it that would cause it to be water resistant. And so we did that, and it dried, and so then we put it in. So it gives it a slightly different look with the red wood and on the sides and in the back versus the rest of the wood that it took to put this together. Really simple. They had detailed instructions. First time I ever built something, so I followed the instructions to the letter, but it came out just like the picture. And that's what we really wanted. We're happy with it. I'm happy with it. And so now the only thing left is to stack it full of wood.
And it's supposed to hold, I think, a quart or two quarters.
A whole quart of wood.
A whole quart of wood. So I'll definitely show you guys when it's all said and done. So we did this in pieces, meaning he spent a few hours on it, I guess, each day. And in total, how many hours do you think it took you if you had to total up, if you had to guess?
For my first time, it probably took me a little longer because I spent more time on the foundation, making sure that
because it wasn't straight. We didn't have a flat surface.
Yeah, making sure it was on a flat surface. Once we started building, I think it took me maybe 2-3 hours.
Okay.
Max.
And the reason why I asked is because the instructions said that you could do this in a weekend. And so you definitely feel like you could do it in a weekend.
Oh, absolutely.
And he did it, I would say 95% by himself.
Yeah.
You saw some shots of me and my son helping him, but 95% of he did it himself.
Yeah.
So they could do it themselves.
You could do it yourself. A weekend, definitely it could be done. The whole thing.
Okay.
No problem.
Awesome. So I'm really, really excited and proud of what my husband did. I think it looks so good. I cannot wait to see it all stacked up with wood. We've had rain for the last 24 hours, so it's pretty wet out here. But I will definitely show you a final shot or on another video once we get it all loaded up with wood. We got a lot of wood that we're gonna have to get from our driveway all the way to the back. But I promise that once we get it all loaded up in a separate video, I will show you what it looks like. If you want, for some reason, to build one of these, I will link the plan that we bought from Etsy. It'll be down in the description box below. And certainly, whatever questions you have, put them down below. I'll make sure that my husband will answer the questions if I can't answer, because he's the one that actually built it. But y'all, I did do my job. I told you at the beginning of the video, my job was support. This man was well fed. He was well liquefied. He was nourished. I did my job. Okay, but did y'all see me with the drill in my hand? If you didn't see it, rewind back. Okay, y'all, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.